Hey everyone, I'm David, the Lakeland Realtor, and in this video we're going to dive into the first quarter numbers for the Lakeland housing market. We're going to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly, as well as what it means for you as a homeowner or a home buyer. So unless you've been living under a rock, you have probably seen that the housing market right now is crazy. From national headlines to viral TikTok videos, everyone is talking about the housing market, and Lakeland is no exception. So let's go ahead and dive into the first quarter numbers covering January through March of 2021. So let's start with closed sales. These are gonna be all the houses that were listed and sold within the first quarter of 2021. That number is 24.1% higher than last year's first quarter. Now, it's not a very fair comparison. If you think back to the first quarter of 2020, we were all stuck at home and buying toilet paper, not really worried about buying houses. So that number is not super surprising. But when we dig a little deeper into some of the numbers, we do get a clear picture of exactly where our market currently is. Next up is median sale price. This is a good indicator of overall home values to see how it compares to previous years. Now that number is up. The median price for a house listed on the MLS is $246,000. Now if you compare that number to last year's first quarter, it is up 13.5%. What does that mean? Well, if you own a Lakeland home, it's worth more money than it was last year. Next up is time to contract. So this is going to be the point when a house is listed on the MLS up until when a seller accepts an offer. Now that is down to 16 days in the first quarter of 2021. Now, if you are a home buyer right now who is putting in offers and seeing houses leave in under a day, I get it, that only includes the first quarter, so up until March. It is likely even shorter than that now, and we'll review those numbers once we see April's. But keep in mind, even comparing the first quarter to last year, that is down by 59%. So what does that mean? If you're a seller, it's great news. It means your house is worth more, and if you're gonna list, it's probably gonna sell pretty fast. The bad news falls if you're a buyer, and the main metric we're looking at is inventory. And inventory is incredibly low right now, including in the Lakeland market. Right now, inventory of active listings is down 65.4% compared to 2020. That is a staggering decrease. And what it means is if there's less inventory and there's still a lot of buyers out there, the demand is going to increase, thus driving home prices and shortening time on market. So the final metric we're gonna look at is months supply of inventory. And this is tracked by taking the average number of monthly sales for a year and then dividing it by the current amount of inventory to determine if everybody was gonna buy a home, how long that inventory would last. Now on a balanced market, it's usually a little over 5 months. That means it doesn't favor sellers, it doesn't favor buyers. If it was any longer, it would be a buyer's market, meaning that there's a lot more inventory for buyers to choose. Any shorter, seller's market. Means there's not a lot of inventory, and I think as you can guess, we are in a seller's market, but it is pretty staggering how little inventory we have. We have less than 1 month worth of supply in our current market. That's 0.8 months of inventory on hand. So overall, it is great news if you are trying to sell a home right now, not so great news if you are a buyer. And unfortunately, market conditions right now are not getting better. The numbers have not been released by Florida Realtors for April or May, but I have a feeling when they are released, we're gonna probably see the same trends occurring. Now, one nice thing is we are in a cyclical uptick. We're going from spring into summer when we naturally get more listings on the market. More families are moving, trying to get into school zones or try to get into a home prior to a school zone or school year starting. So we are gonna see probably an increase of inventory, but we're likely gonna also see an increase in buyers. I don't expect the numbers to change too much for the second quarter, but definitely stick around. We'll do a video analyzing that as well as the April numbers once those are released.